Did you know that two people of the exact same age can have completely different biological ages? I recently met a 67-year-old man named Robert who could easily outpace men 20 years younger on hiking trails, while his same-aged brother Thomas struggled to climb a single flight of stairs without getting winded. Same genes, same age, yet worlds apart in health and vitality. What made the difference? The truth is, your chronological age and the number of birthdays you've celebrated doesn't tell the whole story. What really matters is your biological age, how well your body functions compared to others in your age group. And according to recent research, there are simple tests you can do right at home that can reveal whether you're aging normally, faster than average, or if you're one of those remarkable individuals whose body is actually younger than their years suggest. Today, I'm going to share 7 simple tests that doctors use to assess your true biological age. These aren't just random assessments. They're scientifically validated predictors of longevity that can tell you if you're on track to join the ranks of vibrant nonagenarians, those extraordinary people who live well into their 90s with their faculties intact and their zest for life undiminished. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where you stand and, more importantly, what specific actions you can take to improve your results on these tests. Because here's the amazing thing. Unlike your chronological age, your biological age can actually be reversed with the right interventions. Stay with me until the end, because test number 7 is something that only 14% of seniors can pass, yet it's one of the strongest predictors of whether you'll maintain your independence into your late 80s and beyond. Don't miss the final insight. It's one that most people overlook, yet it holds incredible power in predicting what lies ahead. These markers could completely reshape how you see your future and add valuable years to your life. If this has sparked your interest, show your support by hitting the like button, subscribing to our channel, and sharing this video with those you care about. Together, let's make informed choices for a healthier, longer life. If you're finding value in this information already, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. Your support helps us continue creating content that can literally add years to your life. Now let's dive into the first test. Test 1, the rising from floor test. The first longevity test is deceptively simple but incredibly revealing. How easily can you get down to the floor and back up again without using your hands? This test, developed by Brazilian physician Dr. Claudio Gil Araujo, has been shown to predict mortality risk with surprising accuracy. In his study, published in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology, Dr. Araujo found that people who needed to use their hands and knees to get up from the floor were almost 7 times more likely to die within 6 years compared to those who could get up with minimal support. Here's how to perform the test. Start by standing on a non-slip surface. Without leaning on anything for support, lower yourself to a seated position on the floor. Then, try to stand back up without using your hands, arms, or knees for support. The less support you need, the better your score. Take Martha, for example. At 65, she was concerned when she realized she couldn't get off the floor after playing with her grandchildren without pushing herself up with both hands and even needing to roll onto her knees first. Her friend Susan, at 72, could rise from the floor using just one hand for slight balance. The difference? Susan had stronger core muscles, better balance, and more flexible joints, all indicators of a younger biological age. The good news is that, unlike many aspects of aging, this ability can be improved. If you struggled with this test, don't worry. Start with simple exercises to strengthen your core and legs. Wall sits, where you lean against a wall with your knees bent at 90 degrees, can build leg strength safely. Gentle yoga can improve your balance and flexibility. Chair squats, where you practice standing up from a chair without using your hands, can build the exact muscles needed for this movement. Begin with just 5 minutes of these exercises daily, gradually increasing as you get stronger. Many seniors have gone from needing multiple points of support to requiring none in just a few months of consistent practice. Remember, it's not about perfection. Any improvement reduces your mortality risk and brings you closer to the profile of those who live into their 90s with independence and vitality. Test 2, the walking speed test. The second test might seem obvious, but it's so powerful that geriatricians often call it the 6th vital sign. It's your walking speed. Researchers at the University of Pittsburgh found that walking speed alone can predict the likelihood of living longer with remarkable accuracy. The magic number? 2.2 miles per hour, or about 3.5 kilometers per hour. People who can maintain this pace or faster show significantly lower mortality rates over the following decade. To measure your walking speed, mark off a distance of 10 feet, about 3 meters, on a flat surface. Time yourself walking this distance at your normal, comfortable pace. Divide the distance by your time to calculate your speed. For example, if it takes you 4 seconds to walk 10 feet, your walking speed is 2.5 feet per second, which converts to about 1.6 1.7 miles per hour. Consider George, who at 71 noticed he was always falling behind when walking with friends. His walking speed test showed he moved at just 1.6 miles per hour. His neighbor Helen at 76 maintained a brisk 2.5 miles per hour and regularly walked to the local market rather than driving. What separated them wasn't just fitness. Walking speed reflects your cardiovascular health, muscle strength, nervous system function, energy levels, and even cognitive health. If your walking speed is below the target, don't be discouraged. This is one of the most improvable metrics of aging. Start with regular walking sessions, even if they're short. Begin with just 5 to 10 minutes daily and gradually increase. Focus on good posture and taking purposeful steps. Adding gentle inclines or stairs once you're comfortable can further strengthen your legs. A technique called interval walking can be particularly effective. Alternate between your normal pace and slightly faster walking for short bursts. For example, walk normally for 2 minutes, then pick up the pace for 30 seconds and repeat. Studies show this approach improves walking speed more effectively than constant pace walking. Many seniors have increased their walking speed by 0.5 miles per hour or more within just 3 months of regular practice. That improvement alone could significantly shift your mortality risk profile closer to those who enjoy long, healthy lives well into their 90s. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment walking speed below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you don't miss future videos that could add years to your life. Your support helps us continue creating content that keeps you informed and inspired. Now, let's move on to our third test. Test 3, the grip strength test. The third longevity test is remarkably simple yet profoundly revealing. How strong is your grip? A landmark study published in The Lancet followed over 140,000 people across 17 countries and found that grip strength was a better predictor of mortality than even systolic blood pressure. For every 11-pound decrease in grip strength, researchers observed a 17% increased risk of cardiovascular death and a 9% increased risk of stroke. You can measure your grip strength at home with an inexpensive hand dynamometer, available online for about $20 to $30. For men over 60, a grip strength of at least 73 pounds, 33 kilograms, for the dominant hand is considered healthy. For women over 60, the benchmark is around 43 pounds, 19.5 kilograms. Take James, a 68-year-old retired teacher who noticed he was having trouble opening jars and carrying groceries. When tested, his grip strength was just 62 pounds, well below the threshold for his age. Meanwhile, his 74-year-old sister Margaret maintained a grip strength of 46 pounds, exceeding the benchmark for her age and gender. The difference wasn't just in their hands. Grip strength reflects overall muscle mass, nerve function, and even cardiovascular health. What's fascinating about grip strength is that it's not just about your hands. It's a window into your overall vitality. The neuromuscular systems that control your grip are representative of systems throughout your body. When researchers find strong grip strength, they typically find better heart health, stronger bones, and more resilient brain function. If your grip strength isn't where it should be, targeted exercises can make a remarkable difference. Using stress balls or hand grippers for just 5 minutes a day can significantly improve hand strength. More importantly, full body strength training twice a week builds overall muscle mass, which enhances grip strength as a side benefit. Simple exercises like carrying grocery bags, doing modified push-ups against a wall, or practicing daily activities like opening jars can maintain functional grip strength. Even gardening, kneading dough, or playing a musical instrument can help maintain the fine motor control that keeps hands strong and capable. Don't be discouraged if your grip has weakened. Studies show that even people in their 80s and 90s can increase muscle strength by 25–30% within just 12 weeks of beginning appropriate strength training. And with that improvement comes a significant reduction in mortality risk, bringing you closer to the profile of those who thrive well into their 9th and 10th decades. Test 4, the balance test. The fourth test is deceptively simple but incredibly revealing. How long can you stand on one foot? A study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that adults over 50 who couldn't hold a one-legged stance for at least 10 seconds had nearly double the risk of death from any cause within the next decade. This simple test reflects the integration of multiple body systems, your brain, nervous system, muscles, bones, and joints all working in harmony. To perform this test, stand near a counter or chair for safety, then lift one foot approximately 6 inches off the ground. Time how long you can maintain this position without touching the raised foot down or grabbing onto support. For optimal longevity markers, you should aim to hold this position for at least 20 seconds on each foot. Consider Elizabeth, a 66-year-old who could barely maintain her balance for 4 seconds when she first tried this test. Her friend David, at 73, could comfortably balance for over 30 seconds. seconds. The difference wasn't just a matter of practice. David's superior balance reflected better brain-body communication, stronger stabilizing muscles, and healthier joint function. What makes this test particularly valuable is that it's an early warning system. Balance typically begins declining in subtle ways long before more obvious mobility issues arise. By catching and addressing balance problems early, you can prevent falls, which are among the leading causes of disability and loss of independence in older adults. If your balance isn't where it should be, targeted exercises can yield dramatic improvements. Start by practicing kitchen counterbalance, standing near a counter. Lightly rest your fingertips on the surface, and gradually reduce how much you rely on this support. Progress to standing on one foot while brushing your teeth or waiting in line at the store. Tai Chi has been shown to be particularly effective for improving balance. This gentle, flowing practice strengthens the stabilizing muscles and enhances proprioception, your body's awareness of where it is in space. Many senior centers and community programs offer Tai Chi classes specifically designed for older adults. Even simple daily habits can build better balance. Try putting on your socks or pants while standing, holding onto something stable if needed. Walking heel to toe as if on a tightrope is another effective exercise that can be done anywhere. Many seniors have improved from barely being able to balance for a few seconds to confidently standing on one foot for 30 seconds or more within just a few months of consistent practice. This improvement not only reduces fall risk, but shifts your longevity profile closer to those who maintain their independence and vitality into their 90s and beyond. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment balance below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. Your support is what allows us to keep creating this potentially life-changing content. Now let's continue with our fifth test. Test 5, the chair rise test. The fifth longevity test focuses on a movement we perform countless times every day, standing up from a seated position. A long-term study from the British Medical Journal found that the ability to rise from a chair without using your arms strongly predicts mortality risk. Specifically, those who took more than 12 seconds to stand up and sit down 5 times had a mortality rate nearly 3 times higher than those who completed the same task in under 8 seconds. Here's how to perform the test. Place a sturdy chair against a wall. Sit in the middle of the chair with your back straight, feet flat on the floor, and arms crossed over your chest. Time how long it takes to fully stand up, and then completely sit back down 5 times in a row without using your arms for support. For adults over 60, completing this test in under 11.4 seconds puts you in the highest functioning category. If it takes between 11.5 and 14 seconds, you're in the normal range. More than 14 seconds suggests below average lower body strength and power. Consider Thomas, a 72-year-old who needed nearly 16 seconds to complete the chair rise test and found himself avoiding activities that required getting up and down frequently. His sister-in-law Patricia, at 75, could complete the same test in just 10 seconds and remained actively involved in community theater where she frequently moved from sitting to standing during rehearsals. The difference between them wasn't just leg strength. This test reveals something called power, which is strength combined with speed. Power declines faster than strength alone as we age, yet it's crucial for everything from catching yourself when you trip to getting out of the way of danger quickly. If you struggled with this test, focused exercises can make a dramatic difference. Chair squats are perfect for building the exact muscles needed. Stand in front of a chair, lower yourself until you just touch the seat, then stand back up without fully sitting or using your arms. Start with 5 repetitions and gradually build to 15-20. Adding speed elements can help build power. Once you're comfortable with basic chair squats, try standing up a bit more quickly while remaining controlled and safe. Stair climbing, if safe for your joints, is another excellent way to build lower body power. Remember that improvements happen gradually. Aim for consistency rather than intensity. Many seniors have cut their chair rise time in half within 3 months of regular practice. This improvement dramatically shifts mortality risk and brings you closer to the profile of those who maintain their independence and mobility well into their 90s. Test 6, the memory and processing speed test. Our 6th test moves beyond physical abilities to assess something equally important for longevity: your cognitive function. A 20-year study published in the British Medical Journal found that cognitive processing speed, how quickly your brain can take in information and respond appropriately, is strongly associated with longevity. People with faster processing speeds lived significantly longer, even after accounting for physical health factors. One simple way to test this at home is the verbal fluency test. Give yourself 60 seconds to name as many animals as you can think of. Count each unique animal. For adults over 60, naming at least 17 different animals in 1 minute is associated with healthy cognitive function. Another simple test is the serial sevens. Starting with the number 100, subtract 7 repeatedly. 100, 93, 86, 79, etc., and see how many correct calculations you can make in 30 seconds. Being able to perform at least 5 correct subtractions in this time frame is associated with good cognitive processing speed. Consider Margaret, a 69-year-old who could only name 12 animals in the verbal fluency test and found herself increasingly forgetting appointments and misplacing items. Her friend William, at 78, could easily name 22 animals and maintained his position as treasurer of his community organization, handling complex financial calculations with ease. The difference wasn't just being smart. Processing speed reflects the efficiency of neural connections in your brain, which can be maintained or even improved throughout life with the right stimulation. If your cognitive processing isn't as sharp as you'd like, targeted activities can yield impressive results. Crossword puzzles, Sudoku, and other brain games can help, but even more effective are activities that combine cognitive challenge with social interaction or physical movement. Learning something new, whether it's a language, musical instrument, or dance steps, creates new neural pathways. Digital brain training programs like Brain HQ or Lumosity offer exercises specifically designed to improve processing speed. Physical exercise, surprisingly, has one of the strongest effects on cognitive function. A brisk 30-minute walk 4 times a week has been shown to increase the size of the hippocampus, a brain region crucial for memory. Social engagement is equally important. Regular, meaningful conversations that involve listening, processing, and responding keep neural connections firing efficiently. Many seniors have significantly improved their cognitive processing speed within just 3 months through a combination of these approaches, shifting their longevity profile closer to those who maintain mental sharpness into their 90s and beyond. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment memory below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing and turning on notifications. Your engagement helps our channel grow and allows us to reach more people with this vital information. Now let's move on to our final and perhaps most surprising test. Test 7, the Social Connection Test. Our 7th and final test might surprise you. It's not about your physical strength, balance, or even your mental agility. It's about something far more fundamental to human longevity: your social connections. A landmark study that followed people for over 80 years, one of the longest research projects in history, found that the quality of our relationships is the strongest predictor of how long and how well we'll live. In fact, having strong social connections can increase your odds of living into your 90s by as much as 50%, making it more impactful than even exercise, diet, or genetics. Here's a simple way to assess your social connectedness. Count how many people you could call in a genuine emergency at 2 a.m., expecting them to respond with help. Then consider how many meaningful interactions you have in a typical week. Conversations that go beyond surface pleasantries to share ideas, feelings, or experiences. For optimal longevity, research suggests having at least 3 to 5 close relationships where mutual support is expected and received, and engaging in meaningful social interaction at least 3 times per week. Consider Robert, a 70-year-old widower who realized during this assessment that he had become increasingly isolated. He could name only one person he would feel comfortable calling in a crisis, and sometimes went days without a significant conversation. His former colleague Janet, at 82, maintained a vibrant social network of neighbors, family, and friends from her volunteer work. She had meaningful interactions almost daily and could easily name 6 people who would help her in an emergency. The difference in their social connectedness wasn't just about personality. It reflected active choices about how to structure daily life and prioritize relationships. And those choices have profound physiological effects. Social isolation increases inflammation, raises stress hormones, and suppresses immune function, literally aging your body faster at a cellular level. If your social connections aren't as strong as they could be, targeted approaches can make a meaningful difference. Start by strengthening existing relationships. Schedule regular calls or visits with family or old friends, even if it's just once a month to begin with. Find structured ways to meet new people through classes, volunteer opportunities, or interest groups. The key is consistency. Even brief, regular contact creates stronger bonds than occasional intensive interaction. Technology can be a powerful tool for maintaining connections. Video calls with distant family members, online communities focused on shared interests, or even text message check-ins can supplement in-person interaction, especially for those with mobility limitations. Most importantly, make your interactions meaningful. Ask questions that go beyond small talk. Share your own experiences and feelings. Offer help when you can, and be willing to accept help when needed. These exchanges of mutual support are what transform acquaintances into the kind of connections that literally extend life. Many seniors have dramatically expanded their social networks within just 6 months of focused effort. This improvement not only enhances quality of life but substantially shifts mortality risk, bringing you closer to the profile of those vibrant nonagenarians who remain engaged with life and community into their 90s and beyond. We've covered 7 powerful tests that can help predict whether you're on track to join the ranks of those who live vibrantly into their 90s. But knowing where you stand is just the beginning. The real power comes from understanding that each of these metrics can be improved, often dramatically, regardless of your starting point. Think of these tests as your personal roadmap to extended vitality. If your walking speed is below the threshold but your social connections are strong, you know exactly where to focus your efforts. If your grip strength and chair rise test results are concerning, but your balance is excellent, you can target specific exercises to address your unique needs. Remember Robert from our introduction? At 67, he outpaced men 20 years younger on hiking trails not because he won the genetic lottery, but because he systematically built the capabilities that these tests measure. 10 years earlier, he couldn't balance on one foot for more than a few seconds. His grip strength was below average, and he had gradually withdrawn socially after retirement. But by consistently working on each area, physical, cognitive, and social, he transformed his aging trajectory. The most important takeaway is this: biological age is fluid. The number of birthdays you've celebrated can't be changed, but the functional age of your body and mind remains remarkably adaptable throughout life. Even if you didn't score well on all 7 tests, focused effort in just 1 or 2 areas can create a ripple effect that improves your overall health and longevity. Start small, but start today. Choose the test where you scored lowest and commit to just 5 minutes daily of targeted practice. Track your progress by retesting every 4 weeks. Celebrate improvements, adjust your approach when needed, and gradually expand your efforts to other areas. The journey to vibrant longevity isn't about dramatic interventions or miracle cures. It's about consistent small actions that compound over time, gradually shifting your biological age to match those extraordinary individuals who live well into their 90s with energy, independence, and joy. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this information valuable, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share with someone you care about who could benefit from these insights. Your support helps us continue creating content that can literally add years to life and life to years. What test results surprised you the most? Which area will you focus on improving first? Share in the comments below. I read everyone and love hearing about your journey toward vibrant longevity. Until next time, remember that age may be a number, but vitality is a choice you make every day.